Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of MT Illustrations. Today so happens to be the day that I assigned to be Sunflower's birthday. I'll explain the reason it's June 7th later. But for those of you who don't even know who Sunflower is, man, you are gracefully new to the channel. Sunflower is an OC of mine that stuck with me for a lot of my life. And today's illustration will actually be celebrating the character's past. I've explained it before in a video where I talked about how I ruined my main OCs, but I'll explain it again for the sake of the video. Back in elementary school, this was maybe 2nd to 3rd grade, I would play at the school's playground after school was out. And I had a few friends. I had Johnny, Eric, there was Lenny, and my sister played with us too. A lot of times we would play pretend, and we would pretend to be escaping some sort of monster in this very complicated game of hide and go seek. Whenever I was hiding alone, being an imaginative child, I would always be playing pretend with myself on the side. One day, I thought up a character to talk to whenever I would do this, and that eventually became Sunflower. I'm pretty sure she went through many different changes. I'm sure I named her Alberta at one point. Or she was supposed to be like the female me, I guess, at first. I don't know. I was small. I was a child. I was a weird child. So for this illustration, I actually went to my drawing archives and pulled up some old drawings to use as references. I'll play those clips for you now. I forgot there was a time, I think Sunflower was supposed to be, cultural appropriation. Wow. Is I going for like a Native American? I don't know. I have no idea, but this is an early Sunflower that I let myself forget about. These guys definitely stayed the same. I must have realized quickly that the design just wasn't the best. Bro, she had leg warmers. Since when did Sunflower have leg warmers? This had to be, I don't know, 2013. Maybe the latest? Oh. Okay, these are pretty embarrassing, but this is where it started, I guess. Like, this is before I even like thought to draw her without any clothes. Like, I drew her just all sexily and stuff. Put a lot of work into it too. You know, as bad as my past work is, I don't think any artist should be embarrassed about their past work. Because if you keep your past work around, you really can see how you improve. I've gotten so much better since these drawings that I made. I don't know when. I wish I could say, maybe 2014. Around that time. I've improved so much, so fast, and honestly, this might be the best MT Illustrations episode, just because I get to show some improvement between then and what I'm about to draw now. I think I remember drawing these too, and my grandma's house in Spain, and I was just bored, and I just want to draw a girl having fun in the summer, and this is what I came up with. I remembered sunflower, and I used sunflower for these drawings, and it just kind of went on from there. It obviously ended up going in a very different direction than these sort of wholesome drawings, but I really appreciate this art either way. I'm not embarrassed of it because at least I don't draw like this anymore. But these drawings, this is where the majority of my anatomy practice started. These drawings helped me figure out how to draw the human body properly, albeit more specifically the female body, but at least as an artist, I was willing to improve, so I made dozens and dozens of drawings to try and do that. And I think that's something I gotta appreciate about myself. Even within this small batch of drawings, did I show some improvement, so it worked. It did wonders for me. I was trying to learn something and it happened. I learned something. I improved. I evolved. Just concept sketches, I think. I didn't know she had this little necklace, this sunflower seed necklace. Forgot about that. That's really interesting. I really was right in giving sunflower the nickname Summer. I hope this video really provides a deeper understanding of why this character, why Sunflower, why was it her? Why did I get all obsessive over this character? And it's because I worked with this character the most. She means the most to me. She has such an extensive history in my life. I think it's important for a creator to celebrate one of his most important creations. So that's what I'm about to do. Hi, Cookie. What's up? What's up, Cookie? Hi. Hi. Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute, kitty. All right, now we know what we're really working with here. So the reason that Sunflower's birthday happens to be on June 7th is because it was in the summer when I initially began drawing her a lot and developing her design and all that good stuff. Of course, I go to Spain every summer, and June 7th was the perfect representation of the time in the year when we go to Spain. June 7th is usually the point where we're either about to go to Spain, the day we go to Spain, or a day after we go to Spain. It's like just always around the time that we leave. And I thought it was just a good date to pick. And I picked this like way back in 2016 or so, maybe. I think it was. Whenever I started drawing Sunflower a lot is when I picked the date. So in this illustration, we are drawing over a picture of the actual playground that I thought up Sunflower on. And I'm gonna go back to Sunflower's roots and not only draw just Sunflower, but her friends and enemies as well. So we'll start, I gotta figure out where I want to put Sunflower in the first place. Unless I can just put her here, like she's standing there. That might be a good spot there. I'm gonna do a little outline. She's gonna be wearing a dress. Actually, okay. I think that'll work right there. Actually, I need to organize my thoughts a little on what to explain here. I kind of filmed those clips first and then I started the video. So if I repeat any information, just bear with me. Although I don't think I explained the story that I eventually wrote Sunflower into. So the timeline of events here was that I had those memories. I created Sunflower. I kind of forgot about her for a few years. And then I remember those times on this playground. I started thinking about and writing some sort of like fantasy novel about those times where everyone was a fantasy character. Everyone that I knew was a fantasy character. But Sunflower, of course, she remained Sunflower. Okay, I need to do something different for that head. I found those old comics, and apparently the story was that Sunflower kind of lived in this abandoned version of our elementary school. Although she didn't live in the building, she actually built her own hut by hand in the forest next to it. And everyone else that we knew from that day, they also lived in the forest, and they would go about their own lives and stuff. I remember my sister was a fairy because she was obsessed with fairies back then, so there was Andrea the fairy. We had a friend named Eric. I think he was into like samurais and spies or more martial arts. I think he was into martial arts. So he was some sort of martial artist. Let's see if I can get her body right here. I've definitely improved, but maybe not to a professional level. And frankly, for me, that's okay. I still got room to improve and make the right changes. Actually, sometimes I would learn little tricks and stuff, and I'll apply them if I think I need them. Alright, I think there was also Lenny the crook. I don't know why he was a crook, but I remember my sister really liked him, like the actual Lenny. I'm actually gonna give Sunflower her necklace. I kind of want to still portray Sunflower like very vaguely like her very first design. Not like a total blatant culturally appropriated Native American. I didn't know better back then. Like something inspired. I want to do something loosely inspired by her first design because I don't want to escape from that. Like she had this cute little headband of sorts or something. Let's see how that looks. Maybe you can have like a sunflower here. That actually works. I like that. It's kind of her own thing. It's not really supposed to be representing anything cultural. Sunflower had this like weird felt belt. Luckily I don't need to draw her legs. She has like this long dress. I'll make it a little raggedy. Because she's living on her own. I never really explained what happened to her parents in the story. And it was supposed to be kind of like a mystery. I do have ideas for what her parents would look like. Sunflower's dad would have a mustache. And I don't know why that's a detail I always remember, but it is. Hopefully that will be fine there. Sunflower is always barefoot for some reason. Of course, she had to be Sunflower because feet are hard to draw and I just gotta suffer. I feel like they need to be flatter. They're too, I don't know. I'll figure it out later. I'll work on her sleeves and her hands, which are easier because I've practiced hands a lot more. That's looking right. Yes, maybe I should have some type of pose. I feel like it's missing a pose of sorts. Instead of her arms just kind of being out. Maybe she has it tucked in behind her back. She looks like she's scratching her butt though. Of course, her breasts need to be a little more defined. 'Cause when women have those. Unless I do something where she's waving. I did have a lot of drawings where she's been waving, so I'll do that. There we go. Wrinkles are kind of difficult to draw. That's a good hand right there. I think that works. I don't know. Positioning hands is difficult. That works, but her legs might need to be longer. I don't really need the guide under her though. It doesn't really need to be that perfect anyway. It's just a little sketch. Maybe her waist. Oh, it's a straight line. I'll move her waist. Oh, this way. Oop. Close up the lines. Maybe I'll hide her feet. Actually, no. Oh, I can do this. I can draw her feet fine. So this one would be more like this way, and this one would be more that way. I gotta shape her toes right. Toe shaping. Looks weird. I'm not gonna be able to like show all the... Sorry, feet lovers. I can't show all the toes on this one. That's better. That one's better. I like this one. The side view turned out a lot better, although I think I could change the arch. I always like exaggerate the curves when I draw feet. There you go. A little something for everyone in this episode for sure. I suppose that works. The feet look weird, but I don't know. But there's Sunflower. The more I look at her now, Sunflower's... This design was based off of the one where she looks Native American, but now she kind of looks a little hippie. She looks like a hippie. Which I suppose makes sense, because I'm sure some of you out there might know what became of Sunflower. I feel like maybe this foot should be like too much to the side. Hang on, let me look at the... It can be all about angle as well. Like compared to the ground. I don't know. Feet are too difficult for me. That looks so weird. I'll just go back to the other one. I'll just deal with that. I'll just put up with that one. Maybe looking from far away, it doesn't look that bad. I don't know. There will be a lot more to focus on this illustration anyway when it's done. I'm going to fix her eyes, though. That's better. Maybe her nose as well. Sunflower definitely is looking like a hippie, which is much better than Sunflower feeling like she's culturally appropriating. That works. Alright, now we can draw our next person. Maybe I can do Andrea the fairy. She has like large hair for some reason. Give her a smirk. I'm not really gonna try and like make her 100% look like my sister, even though she's supposed to represent my sister. Just because looking at the design I had, all the designs I had of her were always different looking than my sister. So I might as well do something different. But it's still Andrea the fairy, and she's very well based on my sister and her obsession for fairies. Give her these like large fairy ears. This one definitely needs to be a little closer. I'm gonna draw her their arms folded. Drawing arms being folded looks like a hassle, but it's really simple once you start with this and go on from there. Then you just pretty much got it. I don't know what she was wearing. She's like wearing some weird kind of Tinkerbell-esque dress of sorts. So at least she'd be pretty easy. I'm gonna give her like ballerina shoes. And this is a weird decision probably on paper, but it's because when my sister was young, she really wanted to be a ballerina and she took ballerina classes. So I think this would be like a nice little reference. Just giving her ballerina shoes. I might need to look up ballerina shoes. Yep, okay, thought so. And it would save me from drawing feet because they are a pain in the a-hole. Luckily, everyone else in these designs wears shoes. Thank God. So thank you, past me, for that, for those design choices. Does that look right? I might need to structure line it. I think it does. Maybe. I don't know. When it's behind the dress, you don't really think of the realistic, you don't really think of the reality of the anatomy underneath. Although it's probably be a good thing to do, so it looks good. So I'll do that. Oh, this leg, you know what, used to be thicker. Maybe instead of such a 90-degree dramatic angle, that needs to be smaller. That is so much better. All right, that works. Her hair was long, and the wings are gonna be different. When I color it, I'm gonna color the wings on a separate layer and make them transparent. There we go, I think that works. There's Andrea the Fairy. Perfect. Next up, I think I'm gonna do Lenny the Crook, and then Eric. I'm gonna get to Jonathan, who is the enemy, but I'll talk about him when we get there. I feel like Lenny the Crook should maybe... I don't know if I want him, like, sitting up here. Maybe Eric will be up here. But Lenny, maybe he can sit up here. I might move Andrea the Fairy a little more this way. There we go. I think that'll look fine. And Lenny will be, maybe Lenny can, he can stand. That'd be pretty interesting if he's like standing up there. Wrong layer. Real life Lenny was pretty nice dude. His dad, or not his dad, it was his grandpa, is a musician. He plays the guitar. And he had like long hair. And my sister, being small and a child and not knowing any better, referred to him as the man with lady hair. So he referred to her as the little girl with little girl hair. I think Lenny, despite being a crook in this story, was still like an ally to the friends. Probably like steal for them or something, I don't know. He's a really skinny guy too. That's the cat meowing. Cookie, shut up! What do you want, cat? I don't even know if my phone is picking that up. But Cookie is just meowing up there. She always sounds like she's in pain. And then I go up there to see what she wants, and she leads me to the food bowl. I don't feel like drawing hands. I can do it though. I'll do it anyway. It's like I make him... Maybe a fist would make sense. Oh god, that looks awful. I cannot with hands. I wanted to hold a big old crowbar. I want this crowbar to kind of look like... kind of big and scary. Big scary crowbar. Cookie! It's like she's saying hello. Okay, Lenny's difficult here. Yeah, it's a weird looking crowbar, alright. I feel like I should add some perspective. It's like big baggy loose clothing. He would wear that. He would wear like loose pants and stuff. Maybe you can give him like a pocket or something so I don't have to draw the other hand. Here we go. Tall, skinny, lanky dude. Maybe the perspective on this is not really right, but I think it'll do. And of course, it's something I can improve on later. Because right now I'm just seeing this, I'm like, okay, I'm struggling with this. Maybe this is something I can focus on later on. This arm definitely needs to be longer. Okay, that's supposed to be his hand, but that's not really looking like... Okay, maybe I can fix that. I'm gonna try. He looks very lanky. Looks very, like, too tall for a human being. But it works. These are fantasy creatures anyway. Maybe he's some type of creature. I don't know. Unless maybe I could do this. Maybe I can make his head just a little bigger. Like that. That might work better, actually. Oh wow, okay. I think that looks fine. There's Lenny. I'm gonna go see what the heck that cat wants from me. I think I'm gonna put Eric over here. Maybe Eric is some sort of like trained samurai ninja thing. Like he's into the arts of sorts. Get his face shape right. I think that'll work. That'll do. Give him an ear. His hair is pretty big. I kind of want these. Is too small or too big for the pose I'm trying to do. I think he needs like a sword of sorts or something. His hand will definitely be covered by the pole. Let's give him like a neat little fantasy tachi of sorts. It was really big for him, but I don't know, I think this works. There we go. All right, I think that's good. That's Eric. It's still not the best. Maybe I can scale him up a little better. That's about as best I could do. And Jonathan's pretty easy. We'll put him all the way in the back here. He's also got like, he's cloaked, but he's kind of a big, large figure. He's very simple, very easy. The deal with Jonathan was that he owned this like small factory, this small like little mining factory, I think it was. I just recently read the old comic I had. I think it was like black magic. He was mining for like black magic materials. I don't know, something random like that. And he hypnotizes people and makes them their slaves. He's like a dark, evil wizard of sorts. It's got like, for some reason, it's got these pockets. Man is always scary when he has like 6 pockets, but they're probably he probably keeps like magic powders or something there. But he's this like scary wizard dude. He hypnotizes people and turns them into slaves, and for some reason he has his eyes on Sunflower. And then the rest, that was like the antagonist plot of the story, and the full story name was Sunflower and the Forest of Lost Memories. It was supposed to be told from the first person point of view of someone who got amnesia and washed ashore at a beach nearby, and like you're just through the eyes of this person, and Sunflower finds you and you get to meet everyone. And it's like, at first it was obviously a self-insert, because I mean, I know I do some self-inserts in some stories that I write, but this one made sense because I was literally dealing with characters based on old friends of mine. So you're basically this fantasy whatever version of me meeting fantasy versions of my old friends and my sister, and Sunflower was just involved. She was completely made for this whole thing. She's the odd one out. And there's supposed to be some ties between the main character, me, and Sunflower, but the memories are all lost. Everything's just kind of jumbled. That's where the Lost Memories name comes from. And in the meantime, you got these friends dealing with Jonathan trying to con them into working for him, and then he tries to hypnotize and force Sunflower into slavery. Such an odd story, but I mean, that's what I wrote and that's what I went with. And it's all based on how we would play pretend back in the day. Like when we were children, we would literally pretend play slavery. Someone would be like this monster and try to capture people. And that's what Jonathan represents here. He was like my best friend back when I lived in Bay Village, and he's the enemy, which is just ironic. There was never any bad blood between us. We never had a falling out of any sort. I just made him an enemy out of pure irony. He's a pretty big guy. He's pretty big and scary. Someday I'll have to draw him without his cloak on. That's pretty much that. Oh, Eric had sisters. Eric had these twin sisters, Eve and Leah, and they were also part of the story, but I never really made set designs for them. So I'm going to leave them out of this, and then maybe someday when I write more or finish Sunflower in the Forest of Lost Memories, because it's gone through many revisions, many different versions, but I've never finished it. I've never finished the story, and I really hope I can soon, someday soon, because the story means a lot to me. Maybe then I'll make another sketch or maybe just add to this illustration itself. I'll update it. Now these can be colored. We can start with Sunflower, obviously. I know I have Sunflower's color palette here. I really like this design of Sunflower. It's like G1 Sunflower. Sunflower went through a lot. She was made for this innocent, sweet, wholesome story. Then I used her to practice strong anatomy, and still under a wholesome setting then. Before then, things just kind of went a different direction. I think I worked on Sunflower at the wrong time in my life, and that is when I was going through puberty. I was still trying to understand why I liked women so much. And Sunflower was just kind of that outlet to dive into the attraction. Sunflower was my way of saying, well, I'm attracted to women. I'm gonna admire the human female body through Sunflower. That needs to be a little brighter than that. That's much better. Her outfit was not really the most well thought out, detailed thing ever. She made it herself. But the black felt, she bought that off of, I think, Andrea's magic shop, or I think it was Eric's magic shop. I don't know. Maybe they both owned the magic shop. And this black piece of felt can like be molded. It's like a thinid. It can be molded into like different things and have different uses. And she can use it as like a rope or something if she wants to, or like a pillow. But usually she uses it as a belt. I always thought that was a pretty neat thing, actually. Here's her long lost necklace that I've never drawn Sunflower with except for the one time. And you know what? I'm gonna do a very sneaky reference to Catilina here by using Catilina's hair color for the actual sunflower in her hair. There we go. I think this flower could be a different color. Maybe I'll make it blue or something. Oh, you know what? Let's make it Marble's hair color. We can reference Marble. There we go. Which, if you don't know, are just two other of my main OCs. There's Sunflower. I love this. I feel like I've redeemed the character in some way for myself. Because after all the weird, random stuff I would do with Sunflower in the peak of hormonal changes, I suppose, I'm gonna call it for what it is. Back when I was the horny one, Sunflower kind of was an outlet for a different thing. And as I explained it in that one video, it ruined the character, and there's some sweet bliss to drawing her as she originally was. That's her right there. That's where Sunflower started. She's not a nudist. She is not always horny. She is a sweet gal. She is strong. She is smart. She is adventurous. That's my Sunflower right there. That's who Sunflower was always supposed to be. And I would not have it any other way these days. And this is painful to say, but you know, I've kind of treated Sunflower like an imaginary girlfriend before I got an actual girlfriend. Sometimes she feels like an ex for some reason, and I've been trying to do my best to separate her from that kind of past and just kind of fix the character, which is another reason I wanted to do this illustration and dive deep into the past of the characters, so I can just kind of go back to when things were more wholesome and better with Sunflower. Everything was just, she was Sunflower. Not, Sunflower. I love her name. She had such a unique name. I don't know why I went with it, other than I just wanted something unique. and she has the nickname Summer, and it's not Somer. It's her nickname is actually like the season Summer, which makes sense. I mean, her birthday is literally June 7th. Now I can color the rest of the characters and we can shade it and finish this off. I'll do Lenny next. Lenny was very blonde. He's also a very pale kid as well. But the shading will probably not really bring that out as much. I'm gonna give him like a yellow cloak. I don't know why, but I feel like that makes sense. And his shoes can probably just be like a weird bluish gray. Okay, there's Lenny. Lenny the crook. We'll do Eric next. I wonder how that'll look. Yeah, that's fine. His suit is supposed to be white, but I'll give it the different coloring. I kind of want to do something fun with his Tachi, like make it have this like red glow. There we go. Like it's magic. He does own a magic shop, so of course he's gonna integrate some magic into his sword or weapon. Any weapon he has. Alright, now Drea the Fairy also has really blonde hair because when Dea was young, she had really blonde hair. I'll make the ballet shoes pink enough. Her outfit, maybe like some sort of blue. And then her wings, those are gonna go on a different layer. I'm pretty sure if Dea was a fairy, she would want these big pretty pink wings, maybe with a little bit of purple included. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. Maybe someday in the future, I will want to animate this story whenever I finalize it. I wonder if I should have this big. So obviously I want to make it easy for myself if I wish to do that. And who knows, it can go through some design changes if I ever just want to make it easier. But I'm not really worried about it right now. I think I need to give this idea some time to just grow into what it is and go through the changes it needs to go through. I feel like after the madness that I put Sunflower through, I need to let things cool down a little and really let the changes sit in. Because like I said, Sunflower felt like a girlfriend and now she feels like an ex, and I want to separate that. I want to separate that feeling from the character and just make her a character. I don't want to feel bad working with a character that I've had for years just because this is so stupid, but I feel like I'm being unfaithful to my real girlfriend. I can't believe I put myself in this position. I can't believe I put myself in this point in life. I can't believe that I just put myself here. To that point where I'm like feeling like a fictional character is that real. It's sad, but hey, you live life how you live it. You make mistakes, cringe at yourself, and you just move on. Oh, I forgot to make her fairy wings transparent. There we are. Back to Jonathan. He's also pretty easy. Oh, wait, I didn't even, oopsies. I didn't copy over his, I was coloring on the wrong layer. I forgot to duplicate his line art layer. And there they are. That looks much better. They just need their shading, of course. Time to speed run the shading a little bit. Let's do Jonathan first. Maybe I can put all the line art. Characters are separate enough. They're not overlapping. So I can group all the line art. And then I can group all of the color layers. And then I can put all of the shading in on the same layer. All right, moment of truth. I think that all looks good. Need some shine in some areas now. Here we go. Now I can do this. I can flatten all that down, merge that. If I want the shadows to stay, I kind of made a mistake. I put the shadows in before I did the manual masking. So I go in and do that first on this layer, and then over here, luckily there's not too much to mask. And then I gotta do it on the color layer as well. Color layer obviously is gonna look a little funky. There's probably other easier methods I can use, but this is the one that's fastest for me. To just do it manually. Oh, I forgot about this here. I think that is everything. Okay, everything's properly masked and layered. So now I'll make another duplicate just in case. And I think it's done. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Now all that's needed is to sign it. Sunflower G1. Actually, no, I'll name it Sunflower in the Forest of Lost Memories. Move it up a bit so that I can date it. June 7th, 2024. Happy birthday, Sunflower. Maybe I can put a little bubble here so the signature can actually be seen. Give it some opacity there. There we are. And I think this illustration is complete. Something important I gotta do before I export it is really check for stray lines, because during the Rockafire one, there was a stray line that I made on Duke and didn't even notice till the very end. So checking for stray lines here would be really nice. Sometimes things are overlooked. And I think everything just checks out. I think everything's all good. Now we can export it.